is back. Yes, he is back from his extravagant trip. Once again, our guy, Stephen Watson, playing golf all over the place.
All over the place?
So we're going to get into that in just a little bit. But you were in Pinehurst last week.
I was.
Which you described to me in a text is a special place.
Yeah.
Why is Pinehurst? And again, I think everyone knows Pinehurst #2, the U.S. Open, USJ relocating there. But what makes it such a special place? Because I can also see how the golf is special, but things can get lost in the shuffle because they have so many golf courses, and it can kind of become like a golf factory.
Well, I called it the Disney World for golf. When you walk up to the Carolina Hotel at Pinehurst, people are so friendly, you're worried if they're too friendly. Like, all right, what you got? What you got on us? But they're truly just like that Southern hospitality down there in North Carolina, and particularly Pinehurst. Pinehurst is very similar to Kohler, right? Like it's its own community, and everybody there is there for golf. And you walk inside.
But also, Kohler has 4 courses.
Yeah, true. They're building their 11th in Pinehurst right now.
And they're spread out. Like Pinehurst, everything's basically on site, isn't it?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, short drives. I mean, to get to number 8 is probably like a 10-minute drive. To get to number 10 and soon to be 11 is about a 10, 15-minute drive.
Have that many golf courses. There has to be at least some little drive.
1 through 5 are right there on the property.
Okay.
And, you walk in there and you're just walking into history. That's the first thing that comes to mind is you walk through the hallways and it's all the trophies and it's all, the memorabilia and the iconic moments that have happened primarily on number 2, but also just, with the history of golf. They have such a nice touch there of a clean look and just combine that with the right type of people who are in there in the hospitality business, and it makes for a really special experience. I mean, there are a few places you go to where truly everybody in the room is there for the same reason. And that's kind of what you feel there. And that energy is infectious from, people young and old. There are so many different types of golfers who are there, skill-wise and also just age-wise as well. And you're going there. I was there for a 40th birthday party for our buddy Kyle.
Yep.
And, there's already just like a natural energy. I mean,
who's my partner in a 2-man scramble tomorrow, by the way.
Oh, there you go. Love that. If he was golfing the ball with you tomorrow like he was this week, I feel great about your odds. KO is
That doesn't make me feel great. Because, if
you
somebody's
think he's
playing
too early?
Well, yeah, I mean, and again, if I were him, would I rather peak playing Pinehurst for my 40th or with me in a 2-man scramble? Pinehurst for my 40th.
I mean,
it's not even close. It's not even a question.
Our guy broke par at Tobacco Road.
Really?
He had the round of the week for his 40th birthday.
We have a group text, and this is this is how I have to hear about this.
You got to save it for the content, right? It was incredible. A lot of people playing good golf. It was fun. It was a bunch of his high school buddies, and I think when you go on a golf trip, and for this type of golf trip, it was like a bachelor party for 40-plus-year-olds, right? Like It was
responsible drinking versus
it was
the way it can get on a bachelor
party.
Just like
the energy you get going on a bachelor party, and then you get that around like a common theme of golf. It was a great group of guys. We had a blast. But to go back to your question, I think what's so unique about Pinehurst is the courses look the same, but they play different. It feels like, I think the itinerary that Kyle and our other buddy Ryan put together was incredible because every single course we played, and we played 6 rounds in 5 days, they were all uniquely different. It almost felt like something you can get at a Sand Valley. Kohler, the courses are somewhat similar. Mm-hmm. Straits it's kind of similar to Irish. You might not have it on the lake, just like Rivers, kind of similar to Meadows. Sand Valley is probably the best comp of all of the courses on property offer something a little bit more unique.
Different, yeah, sure.
But if you're familiar with Pinehurst, I'll run through our itinerary really quick for you and kind of give you a feel of what the golf was like. So we flew in on a Saturday, got off the plane, went right to Mid-Pine. So that was our opening round. That was one that we added, which, top 100 public golf course in the country. And that was kind of just maybe not the best course we played, but a great way to start. It was a pretty forgiving golf course. You start to play some of the ones in Pinehurst and you miss, and Donald Ross just laughs at you. So Mid-Pines was a great way to start. And then Tobacco Road, which is, if you haven't heard of Tobacco Road, picture a mini golf course and stretch it out to 18 holes. There is
so-
nothing like this place. Every hole is like clown's mouthy, but you know what you're signing up for. So it's not in a way that you're coming in blind and you're surprised by all these blind shots or crazy elevation changes or tricked out greens. Like, you know exactly what you're signing up for when you walk on property, and you just can't. There's no golf course like it.
Well, so
in the
I
world.
have heard it compared to Gray Walls up in Marquette, because Gray Walls is an insane golf course. Like,
Yeah.
it's an insane person's golf course. There are some holes there like, wait, how does this thing actually exist? But it's so much fun, and it's different, and it's so unique. And I feel, of all the courses that you played, I think I'm most intrigued by Tobacco Road, because the way I've heard people talk about it.
I will tell you what. I hope I go back to Pinehurst many times. Tobacco Road will always be on my itinerary. It is just because it's so uniquely different. Just like number 2 will always be on my itinerary, and I'm going to pay to play it just because of the history. But I can't recommend Tobacco Road enough. It's just a unique setting. You walk, you come through, and you're like in the woods. Everything's very rustic. There's just like a campfire feel to it when you walk up. Everybody's just happy and just like chill and relaxed. And then you get on the golf course, and you're like, whoa. I will never play this golf shot on any other golf course in the world, and I'm here for it.
Okay, so give me an example of one wild golf shot you hit.
Yeah, 13th hole there is a par 5, short par 5 numbers-wise, but you actually hit straight downhill to like a landing area that's a 90-degree turn. So you hit to a landing spot to go completely to your right, 90 degrees, up a hill that's probably a 4 to 5 club elevation change.
And there's no way to like cut the corner on it.
I mean,
just
I can't
like
possibly
Bryson could cut the corner.
fathom somebody trying to take it over the trees because
Okay.
you have no idea. Like, I mean, Carolina pines are no joke.
Oh yeah.
It's not like you're hitting through, dead trees or, kind of short one. I mean, we're talking about 100+ foot trees that are just stacked right next to each other. I got a lot of experience in them this week, but you kind
Beautiful
it kind of
trees. You gotta take
forces
your
you to
word for
hit,
it.
like plot your way through. And yeah, I mean, second shot I hit just like a layup, and I still had to hit like a probably 2 to 3 club elevation change on my third shot up to a punch bowl green that you can't see the flag. It's just you have to land it in the middle of the bowl and hope that you're close based on how it rocks off or hits off the banks, because depending on where it hits on the hill, it could take your ball a totally different way. It's so hard to describe until you see it. Even just like the first tee shot you hit, you just have to split 2 massive mounds that make like a V into the fairway. And the mounds shouldn't come into play. But once you're over them, your second shot into the green is also blind. So you hit 2 blind shots to start your round
back
at
to
Tobacco
back?
Road.
Oof.
And that's just kind of what you're signing up for. But, the par 3s are great. Crazy elevation changes both ways, a lot of hazards you can hit into. Everything is, you play it out of sand. There's all waste bunkers, which is pretty common for that area. But, yeah, I once you get there and you look at it, you're like, okay, I get it now. But it's hard to truly put into words just how dynamic of a golf course that is, Tobacco Road. So from there, we went to number 8 was our third day. Number 8 is
Okay.
like a really nice.
How new is number 8? Relatively still.
It was owned by somebody before Pinehurst took it under. Like, I don't think Pinehurst created it, but I want to say in the 90s is when it became a part of their listings. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it has like a country club feel to it.
Okay.
It's really nice greens, great conditions, great routing, tough golf course that, challenges you as much as any of the ones that you will play on your trip. But just a really clean, nice place to play golf. Kind of reminds me of like a Century World almost, like when you're comparing golf here in Wisconsin to some of the other courses you can play around the state. You go there and you're like, that gives me a Century World feel.
So just according to Pinehurst's website, number 8 was designed by Tom Fazio in 1996.
Okay. So it was built in 96?
Yes.
Okay. Wow, I was way off. I thought it was owned by somebody before.
In experience to commemorate North Carolina Golf's resort's centennial, Tom Fazio again lent his talents to Pinehurst in 1996 by designing number 8.
Yeah, and we had another Fazio design later in our itinerary I'll get to in a second. Might have been my favorite of the ones we played. Day 4 was the big day. It's the one you circle, you see number 2 on the itinerary, and you're like, all right, buckle up, let's go play number 2. We teed off in the morning. That was our 36th day, our only day that we played 2 rounds, and we teed off on number 2 at like 8 a.m. We had to tee off of 10, which I didn't love.
What are you guys playing? You guys are guests? What's going on here?
They like to make a buck at Pinehurst, and even an extra couple of tee times, even though they're going to run into each other, you still get, I think we heard, it gets them 4 extra tee times a day to do split tee times. So the first couple of tee times will go off of 1 and 10.
Okay.
And because of that, it's like 4 tee times, and when you do the math, 4 times 7 times 52.
Yeah, I understand.
You make a lot more money that way.
I understand the math, but that also has the makings for a long round for anyone like yourself who's playing 36.
Yeah.
Like if and especially when you get later in the year, like we're approaching, I got to imagine that backfires if people are trying to stack 36 whole days. They don't have enough time to play 36.
Truly. I mean, we ran into that at number 8. We were teeing off on number 1, and there were 2 groups waiting to make their turn. And I just it doesn't seem like it should make sense, but clearly it does financially for them to continue to do it.
Well, I understand the financial aspect. I guess not everybody can be our friends at Century World with 20-minute time, with, 20-minute tee times and everything they do up there.
So it was kind of weird to tee off because I played number 2 a couple years ago when I built a trip to Pinehurst with a couple of my college buddies. And there's something about playing a course with so much history. Like, you want to finish on 18, right? You want to finish on that par 3 17th and, like, know what that gauntlet is going down the stretch at Pinehurst number 2.
I'm just glad that you are explaining to start that you were on number 10 to start your round, because that's not what you did when I texted you about your round at Pinehurst number 2.
We don't need to dive into my golf rounds, because your boy did not golf his ball well. I peaked 2 weeks ago at Erin Hills. I should have known then.
The number of people I have told about that round.
I played the round of my life. Truly, it might have been the best golf round I played 1 through 18 in my entire life. Was at Erin Hills a couple weeks ago when we were out there. And this happened to us in Scotland when I was out there. I don't know if it's just like I don't travel well or what, but I had this just wipey miss off the tee, and it was truly as close to the Y word as I've ever felt over a golf ball, where like my hands, I had zero confidence, and it leaked into my iron play as well, and it was just kind of I was grinding through these rounds because I could not hit a fairway, and I usually driver is the best club in my bag. And I was dealing with this wipey, like, just non-athletic swing.
Which I saw last year, as you mentioned, in Scotland. And when I had texted you, you're like, yeah, those wipey misses are back. Hey, but I made a number because for those who don't know, if you make a 2 on number 2, you get to, what do you go into the bar area?
You go to the deuce, which is the bar that sits on the backside of 18.
And you say, hey, I made a 2, and they give you a ball marker.
Yeah, you got to show the scorecard with the circle, and then you get a ball mark. So I have played number 2 twice, and I have 2 coins, which is exciting.
I want to just get I want to pull up the text because I don't want to take you, out of context or misquote anything that you had said. Because we were trying to also time it out if it had worked out, because last Tuesday was we were trying to get you on the tee with myself and Vince last week. So, you said, worst score you've made in quite some time. And I said, oh, so you didn't get a 2-on-2 ball marker. And you said, but I did get a coin on the final hole. Which, again, anybody who watched the U.S. Open knows is a par 4. That's where, Bryson gets up and down from the bunker.
Yeah.
So excuse me, is my response. Like, that's the only thing I can think of. We actually teed off on 10, so 9, which is a par 3. You still made your birdie there.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. And one of our buddies, Ryan.
Which is cool,
also,
but not as cool as what I initially thought.
Well, I mean, holding out from the fairway, I probably would have FaceTimed you on my walk to the hole, let's be honest. I would have called in on the spot. And even if you weren't on the radio, I would have made sure I was on the radio with somebody to make that walk. But, yeah.
Joshy, get in. I've got to get on the air.
But number 9 is, par 3. And I was exhausted. That was...
This was your opening round, wasn't it? Of the 36?
Of the 36. I was similar to when we played Carnoustie, and I was dealing with the same type of wipey miss. Like, you can't miss on golf courses like Carnoustie and number 2, right?
Correct.
Those golf courses will eat you alive. There's a reason it's called Carnoustie, and there's a reason people hate Donald Ross. And that was exactly what I was feeling.
Okay, it's fair.
And I may have cursed his name a couple of times that day, but I try to talk about this on our show, and whenever I play with people, like, I really never want to be the guy that cares about my score.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I still looked around. It was a picture-perfect day. I was walking with buddies. I was walking with, one of our buddies who was playing well, and I was like, I'm not going to be that guy in the group. And I was proud of myself, I have to say, for not being that guy. I mean, I threw up the worst score that I have put up there in quite some time.
Okay.
88. All right.
All right. I didn't. I was thinking of how to ask delicately.
There's no way.
It stayed out of the nines. We're fine.
I shot a 46 on our opening 9 game.
So now you're thinking, okay, I gotta find something so I can break.
Yeah,
90.
I think I made 3 or 4 doubles on our first 9. Again, the second 9, the back 9, which is a harder 9, and number 2. So I don't think people should start on 10 at Pinehurst. Anywho, but I just didn't have it, and it was one of those days, and I could have easily been that little brat who was sitting there whining about his golf game. I was not happy. My caddy gave up on me. I didn't blame him for it, but it was just kind of one of those, when you're missing the drive, you have no confidence over the irons. My wedge game was actually pretty awesome, which
look out,
frequent listener of the program.
Look out! Your
boy was worried about the wedges at number 2, but that might have been the strength of my game that whole week. But I battled through, I grinded, and I actually thought of you and our conversations that we've had, like coming down to the closing stretch, knowing that like 90 was staring me in the face. And
it's always a tough thing. That's always a tough
one.
And
I was like,
especially
come on,
for
man.
somebody who shot a 90 at Aaron Hills last year.
Like we got to focus. So I said, final 3 holes, I looked at my buddy Ryan, I was like, I'm going to play these even par. What did I do?
Played him even par.
And it was just it was a good way, because the final hole, I hit a good 7-iron into number 9. My buddy Ryan hit a good 7-iron into number 9. We both walked away with coins. We both made our putts on the final hole of the day. His to break 80, mine to stay away from 90.
Stay away from 90.
And but it was just like a good reminder of like what the walk was all about, and who you got to share it with, and how blessed we are to be able to play some of these golf courses and do it with friends. And it was really fun, because number 3, later that day, I wanted to quit. I did not want to play number 3. I was like, I'm exhausted. I'm mentally exhausted. I don't want to grip another golf club, because I truly have the yips right now. And what did we do? We went to like a short course, number 3, drank a lot, and had a lot of fun.
Yes. Sometimes that's what you have to do on the golf course.
Yeah.
I do have, Stephen does not know this question is coming, but we'll do it coming up next. Our Gruber Law Office's one call, that's all, because Stephen was down at Pinehurst. Plus, I took a lesson last week. Ryder Cup is next week. And the Masters has a new television partner, an additional one. We dive into that coming up next. But we were just talking about Aaron Hills, and you can play Golf Digest, 10th ranked public course in the nation. Just go to aaronhills.com. You know how much we love it. The hospitality out there is second to none. But then again, so is the golf course. It is spectacular. Back 9, pure elegance, exquisite undulations that are perhaps the most striking on the tumbling fairway at hole 12. Whether now or in 2026, you need to experience Aaron Hills. Just head to the website, aaronhills.com. Discover a hidden lakeside course in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin at Majestic Oaks. Tee off on a course with over 2 miles of lakefront where wide fairways and challenging greens await. This lakeside 18-hole course offers a golfing experience like no other with their family golf nights. Best in the state. Everyone can enjoy the game together. Golf, cart, drinks, snacks, under $15 per person. I know we talk about it. I read that to Vince Vitrano, who was our cousin sub of the day last week. He couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Again, golf, cart, drinks, snacks, under $15 per person. Book today, lakelandresort.com and Majestic Oaks Golf Course. So Stephen was down at Pinehurst last week. Again, you can count on the number of hands that the shows that Stephen has missed on the tee as we celebrate our 5th season of this show.
Also, number 10, electric, Tom Fazio design. Or Tom Doak design.
Tom Doak design?
Yeah. That's where we finished the trip.
So you have had, I think of 3 big places right now. And maybe there are places in Wisconsin that are on this list, and I just don't think of them like that because, well, they're in our backyard and I've played them.
Yeah.
But for me, at least domestically, there are 3 big trips that I need to take, in my mind, in my golfing life. You have had the opportunity to do, in my mind, all 3. I am talking about Bandon.
Yep.
I am talking about Pebble.
Yep.
And I am talking about Pinehurst.
Yep. Man, I'm privileged, huh?
Your Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all. Wisconsin Law Offices, Wisconsin's premier injury firm, family firm, and winning team, Wisconsin's own. Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all. You got to pick one. Which one of the three? Bandon? Then again, take the whole trip. I know, and again, Bandon has a lot. When you think of Pebble, there are other courses, obviously, that you played. It wasn't just Pebble Beach. And then Pinehurst.
Yeah.
The entire trip, the entire experience. Gruber Law says one call, that's all. Of the three major domestic, I think, bucket list trips that people have in the States, which one of those three is the number one?
Man, that's hard. Because who you're with matters so much on those trips. I will tell you, the one that I will never forget is playing Pebble with my mom, dad, and brother. With my wife and my sister, who aren't golfers, but they got to walk, the iconic holes with us. Like that's a core memory I will never, ever forget. But my answer is Bandon Dunes.
Okay. Which you also did with family.
With my dad and my brother,
Yep.
as part of a group of 24. My brother's brother-in-law organized it and, wanted to get us in on it early and met a bunch of guys, had a blast. But I played every round with my dad and almost every round with my brother. That's, again, like that, we talk about it a lot on this program, that like my dad is who got me into this game along with my grandfather. So to be able to play those golf courses, plus like the Kaisers are undefeated. Like when they build something the right way. They find these remote areas that trap you and make it a really special communal experience, not just for you on the course, but everybody in the dining rooms, everybody's at the bars. It's a very similar feeling at Pinehurst. Pinehurst is just maybe like a little more uppity, I think, than Bandon Dunes might be. Just that kind of that like southern. You got to have your. I was
about to say you got to
have your slacks and you got to have your button downs.
P's and Q's down there.
Yeah, I think it's just a little bit different environment, and one's not better or worse. Like it fits all the crowds.
Well, but Pinehurst is also, and again, I read the biography for number 8 that in 1996 they were celebrating the centennial anniversary of the resort. So it's been around since 1896.
Yeah, I think
so like being that steeped in tradition, not just Southern tradition, but golf tradition as well. I can see it being, and again, I feel like I've never been there, but I feel like stuffy's probably the wrong word. Just more formal, I guess.
Yeah, totally.
Probably just more formal than Bandon, which is literally 100 years younger. Right? Like
Truly.
It's literally 100 years younger than what Pinehurst is. So I can see Bandon being a lot more lax and a more modern than what Pinehurst would be.
Well, I think the important dynamic of these types of places is it's who you're with, but like how good of golfers they are too truly matters. When I first went to Pinehurst for the first time, and I got that just like feeling that a lot of these guys had on the trip, last week, of just like being on the hallowed grounds and seeing number 2 in person. I watched like a lot of my really good college buddies and even my brother, who like not the best golfers, don't play a ton of golf. Like they walked off that course dejected. Like they tried to smile and enjoy it, but like number 2 is a U.S. Open course for a reason. I think that's what the Kaisers do so well is whenever you play golf on their golf courses, you're probably going to have the best score that you've maybe ever had in your life. And it's really hard to play bad golf at Bandon or Sand Valley because the courses are very fair. They're wide fairways. Like you're hitting into championship greens, and that's how you score, but you're not going to go and make a ton of doubles. And number 2, like I'm a 3 handicap, and I made 5 doubles on number 2. Like,
yeah.
And that's what, if you miss a little bit, and Donald Ross will eat you alive. And that's off the tee. That's by the greens. I mean, like, you can ping pong across those turtleback greens all day on number 2 and walk off the whole feeling just like, F this game, F that man. Like, why am I paying a premium to punish myself?
This is fun. Golf is fun. I paid to have fun.
But then, like, you play well on that type of course, and you're like, man, like, I love this sport. I can't imagine playing anything else.
How did I ever think this sport was hard?
Like, I'm going pro tomorrow. Like, I just got to tell the wife that, like, this is my calling. But I think that's, like, the setting at Bandon is special because you're right on the Pacific Ocean. The courses are all different, but they're all fair. I think that's why I would probably lean to Bandon. There's something cool about being really remote. Too. That's kind of special. It's like when you go there, you get there, and you feel like you're in a different planet.
The anticipation of getting there is driven up because it's not like, when I've done domestic golf trips, I went to Florida last year. I go to Vegas just about every year. Like, we land in Vegas. It's like, okay, we're here.
Yeah.
Like for Bandon, I got to imagine because you have to fly. I don't even know where you could fly into.
Yeah, like I flew to Denver and then into Bend, or is it Bend or North Bend? It's like 20
Yeah.
minutes, but there's only one flight a week, and it's on Wednesdays, and there's one flight back on Sundays. It's literally designed for people to go play Bandon Dunes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you have to fly to San Francisco or Portland.
Yeah, and then you're taking like a 2.5, 3 hour drive, which I can't imagine and builds the anticipation even more of having to hop in a car and then drive.
But let me tell you, going home sucks. Because you lose the hours and you're exhausted.
Oh, sure.
And it's a full travel day. I mean, it's a week investment to go to Bandon Dunes.
But at this point, I mean, to make that plan, to make that trip happen, you're gladly, because you've got that thing booked 2 years in advance at this point.
But you can go out to Pebble, and you're like, Pebble is Pebble. The courses around Pebble are incredible. I mean, Spyglass is maybe like a top 5 course that I've ever played, like 1 through 18 routing wise. Mm-hmm. Spanish Bay is tough, very link style, but like it offers so much. And then you can also just like take a drive down Route 1 and enjoy the scenery and go to really nice restaurants. It's a totally different trip. Bandon's like, I'm going to drink a bunch of beers. I'm going to have like burgers and fries and like good comfort food. I'm going to probably hate myself after day 5, but we're going to smile through it because like everybody here is... You're
going to be the person nobody wants to sit next to on the plane ride back.
Truly. Like we're all like playing good golf, having good scores. It's like there's a smile on your face start to finish. Granted, I had great weather. You can go to Bandon and have terrible weather.
Yes.
It's a very different trip. I guess anywhere that's the case. Pinehurst is... I loved how, like, for where I'm at with my golf game, like, I love Pinehurst. But I could see why people go there, and, like, some of these courses are just, like, a little too hard for me. 2 being the main culprit of that. But, I mean, there's a reason why they're all some of the best in the world.
Yeah.
Because they offer such incredible experiences for you as a golfer or a non-golfer. But if I had to pick one,
You'd pick Bandon?
I'd pick Bandon.
Okay. That's good for me to go. I got to start planning these at some point.
Yeah, I mean, you got to put in for 2027, I think, right now for Bandon. 2028.
Oh, I was about to say, I thought it might be 2028 at this point.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, because, I mean, we're close enough to 2026. I just assumed to be for 2028, like 2.5 years, and try to plan that far in advance. Good luck knowing what you're doing in your life in 2.5 years.
Yeah, sure. I'll book it now, and then you have it on the calendar.
And then
we get there, I got to go on this trip.
We got to figure it out. We do have other things we want to dive into, including a new Masters partner. Is that a good or a bad thing? That's next on the tee. With 18 unforgettable holes on 250 acres of natural private land, the Bog provides the ultimate golf experience. To book your next tee time, call 262-284-7075 or visit golfthebog.com. Enjoy golf. Enjoy the Bog. Augusta National announcing today that they are expanding their coverage on Thursday and Friday the way they did this year on Saturday and Sunday. But once again, it's with a streaming partner. Made sense with CBS. Paramount Plus, all owned by the same company. So Paramount Plus had 2 hours before CBS began their terrestrial TV coverage. Now this year, if you want to watch outside of what ESPN Plus is already offering, or the Masters app with featured groups and featured holes on the range, all the other things that they do, if you want a traditional style coverage before ESPN goes on the air, which I think is 2 p.m. Central Time, they are going to do from noon to 2 Central Time on Amazon Prime, a TV broadcast.
So is this separate from the Masters app?
Because
the Masters app is so good, I can't imagine somebody like doing something better than what they offer.
Yeah, but the app is always like supplementary. I don't think they have like the main broadcast on the app, do they?
So they're just doing like more streaming?
Yeah, like, so, Scott Van Pelt and I think it was David Duval this year did part of the early round coverage, and you still obviously have Nance and Trevor Immelman and then the rest of the crew that's all involved in that. From the way I read it, it's the same thing as that. It's just 2 hours and it's going to be on Amazon Prime.
I mean, are we ever going to complain about more Masters coverage?
I'm not, and I don't understand, like somebody, I think it was Kyle Porter, who I love and typically agree with. But he was making the joke of, first quarter is on Amazon Prime. Like if this was an NFL game, first quarter on Amazon Prime, second quarter is on ESPN, third quarter is on Paramount Plus, fourth quarter is on CBS. Like this is how you have to watch the golf coverage. And I understand the comparison.
Yeah.
Like I get it. I get what he's doing because, the first round's the first quarter, all those things. But, I mean, a football game doesn't take 4 days to play. Also. And if you want to watch if you wanted to watch every football game this weekend, you needed Amazon Prime.
Yep.
You needed
Fox,
CBS, ESPN, NBC. Like, you need all these things, ABC, ESPN, like, and to watch every game this year, you still need Netflix. You need to have all these different streaming partners that the NFL has, or this is just the way the world's going. And look, I understand if you don't have all these apps, it can be very frustrating. I 100% understand that, but like, this isn't a problem that's exclusive to golf.
Correct.
This is literally happening to every sport. Like, if you want to watch playoff baseball this year, okay, so the opening round's on ESPN, and then it's Fox and TBS, and Fox and TBS, and still Fox, but maybe some games get sprinkled on MLB Network, and like, again, it becomes convoluted, but this is the way that these leagues majorly make their money. So, is it frustrating? Sure, but I don't think this is a specific golf problem.
Yeah.
This is happening everywhere.
The only thing to actually be frustrated about is just where linear TV has gone. Like, we used to all complain about how expensive our cable packages were.
Yeah.
And now you're like, okay, when you do the math, I'm actually paying more for all of these streaming services, and that's how they get you. I mean, complain about the state of TV. Don't complain about golf going out and chasing more money. Look at the NBA season this upcoming year.
What do we have?
You're going to watch a Bucks game on FanDuel. You're going to watch it on Prime.
Yep.
You're going to watch it on Peacock.
Yep.
You're going to watch it on ESPN.
NBC, ESPN, ABC.
And potentially Peacock in addition to NBC.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, six, seven different places.
I mean, it's crazy. It's but that's where we're at.
And look,
in every single sport. And like, hey, here's what I want to say to this: if you have the ability to go wall to wall Masters Week, you're in luck. Stop complaining, right? Like, I would love the ability to go, like, be able to pick my apps and have to change over, because that means that I'm dialed in for the entire week.
Yeah.
I would love that privilege. And I think a lot of people would. And if you are privileged to have it, okay, say thank you. Like, I get more Masters coverage. Why are we complaining about this?
When I was a kid wanting to watch Tiger Woods win his first Masters in 1997.
You saw the back nine of it, right?
Basically. Like, that's all you got. It's not like there was Saturday. I mean, I think at that point there might have been Saturday coverage, but like in the mid-90s, at one point, I can't remember the specific year it changed over. It literally was just the back nine. Yeah. That's all you got in the 90s. You got the back nine of the Masters.
Now we literally have shows showing people on the range and the analytics of their swing.
Yeah.
Like a track man on the screen of guys at the Masters range.
I don't know if I've ever asked you this question. Who's your favorite player?
To watch golf?
Yeah.
Rory.
Okay. So I didn't know if it was, I mean, what do you...
Have we not done a show for 5 years?
Yeah, but I didn't know if
Do I gush
Rory...
about anybody like Rory?
No, but I gush along with you with Rory, but Spieth's probably still my guy.
Well, we know that.
Yeah, because I'm very outward about my Spieth love and frustration. But like, if you want to watch all of Rory's, you can. Like, through the app, you just go, oh, here are my favorite players, and they do the shot by, and you have your own highlight feed. That's how much it's progressed in 30 years. So I guess what I'm saying is I don't have an issue with this, just because like this is the way.
If you're telling me I have
going.
the ability to watch Rory's entire day from the moment he steps on property until he puts his putt in for the final drop, like, what more could he ask for as a sports fan? Right?
Yeah.
Like, we're getting more coverage.
And it's not like you have to change the channel. No, if you're locked into the Masters, if you're like you and I guess, and you're locked into the Masters, I'm not changing the channel.
Yeah.
I'm not casually watching. I'm locked in. So if I pull up Amazon Prime and then I have to pull up my YouTube TV app in order to get ESPN, or if you just have the app, whatever, I'm completely fine with having to make that 30-second transition
Here's
at
actually,
the end of two into 2:05.
The better question I have is, if you're the people complaining about this, which of these apps do you not have?
Paramount Plus.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
That doesn't offer me a whole lot.
Yeah, I'm saying Paramount Plus.
But even
although Chewy tells me there's some really good shows on there.
Yeah, no thanks.
He says good things about Tulsa King.
Peacock just got a little pricier on us, which I didn't love.
Well, and they lost my WWE premium live events.
Well, yeah. I mean,
those are over at ESPN. WrestlePalooza this weekend.
You're paying a premium to get more access. So if you want that access, things don't happen for free.
No, they do not. No.
But you get to watch. Oh, I can't imagine arguing about like getting more coverage of the best.
Yeah, but
golf
honestly,
event.
I saw the announcement this morning, and I feel like most of the reaction I saw to it was negative.
Probably
Because
people are exhausted. I get it. People are
Yes.
exhausted by apps and having to change and like no consistency. But this is what people were also calling for when they said that their cable packages were getting too expensive. Like you can't eat your cake and have it too.
Yeah,
Like,
this is
this is the world we live in.
This
now.
is the way we decided to pivot, and we have no one to blame but ourselves, I
Yeah.
think is what we're saying. Hey, it's Gabe and Steven. I want to tell you what we did. Now, Steven, you're wrapping up year 8, 7 or 8?
Sounds like 8 I
At
think.
Wisconsin Country Club.
Yeah.
I'm wrapping up year 2. There's still plenty of golf to be played because when I joined, and Steven continues to still say, the best golf at Wisconsin Country Club is in September.
It's right now.
It's right now. September, we've got a great week for it. So what are you waiting for? No assessments, no food and beverage minimums, incredible challenging golf course that we love, plus other top-tier amenities like tennis, pickleball, and a pool. Steven uses the pool. Does your wife use the tennis?
Not
She's
as
former,
much. Yeah,
former tennis star.
We've done pickleball a few times.
Done pickleball? Are you a pickleball guy? Do you have your own pickleball paddle?
I do.
Do you have pickleball shoes?
No, I
Okay.
have tennis shoes.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah.
But not like not like shoes you have designated specifically for pickleball.
No.
Okay.
Definitely not.
All right.
But we've been big with the kids lately. I told you 2 weeks ago. Cheat code is to bring the kids to the driving range.
Yeah.
Afternoon on a Sunday or like on a Friday when nobody's there. Hit on the driving range and then we just drive on the golf cart. Truly a dad cheat code right there.
Yeah, and that's a great thing that you can't do at your public course, but you can do at a place like Wisconsin Country Club. Get started today. WisconsinCountryClub.com, just a fairway away. We are just about a week and a half away from the Ryder Cup, one of our favorite events. It's going to be happening out at Bethpage Black. I'm still a little bit concerned about what the crowds are going to be like. Not from, I think they're going to be overly too negative, the way that New York crowds can.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't share this. Maybe we'll find out if it gets bleeped or not. But I remember the first time the U.S. Open went to Bethpage Black in 2002. And after, Rick Riley always used to write the gamers in Sports Illustrated after. And I remember reading in his Sports Illustrated piece about how the crowd was heckling Phil Mickelson. And this was a different Phil Mickelson back in 2002. Hadn't won a major championship yet. Was a little beefier than he is now. And there was a fan that yelled, "Hey, Phil, nice B cup." That's what I think of when I think of Bethpage Black. Reading that story in 2002 as a high school kid. I don't know if we're going to have that type of atmosphere because the tickets are really expensive. It feels like it's going to be a little more corporate, so I'm a little concerned about that.
You could say the same in Wisconsin. There was still a lot of chatter. I think the crowd will be good.
The tickets weren't as expensive.
Yeah.
And
I'm just
obviously
saying
there
that
was
from
a
the
difference.
corporate.
And there was a different, because, again, we were just, I guess you could say, still in COVID in 2021.
Yeah, that's fair.
You
I
know,
mean, if
so it's
somebody
just
wants to
different.
have their voice heard, you'll hear it.
You're going to hear it? Okay.
Yeah. But it brings me to our gem of the week.
Brought to you by the Jewelry Center. Engagement rings, wedding bands, gifts for that special someone, even repairs. It all happens at the Jewelry Center. Visit any one of their 3 locations, Greenfield, Brookfield, or in Burlington. Online, shop TJC.com.
So we know Team USA just wrapped up playing the Pro Corps in Napa. Had a nice time with the wives, going to wine country, getting set for a little team bonding this past week. Team Europe just flew over. They're already at Bethpage. They're starting to get work in.
Saw some of the videos come out on the DP World. Or no, it was the European Tour Ryder Cup socials, putting out some things like somebody, letting one rip in the backswing of Tyrrell Hatton, things of that nature.
They're having fun, as they always do. Luke Donald.
Okay.
He's gotten a lot of praise for his captaincy so far. He's trying to run it back with Team Europe. Something I've never seen before from a captain, to try and simulate what that first tee experience is going to be like. And the gem of the week is that he provided his players with VR headsets for them to wear as the walk up to the first tee box and for their first swing to begin the golf tournament, just to get a sense of what the environment might be like. And Rory McIlroy, making a comment about it, he said, "It's to simulate the sights and sounds and noise. That's the stuff we're going to have to deal with. So it's better to try and desensitize yourself as much as possible before you get in there. You can get them to say whatever you want them to say in these VR headsets." So I don't know who's programming this.
That's my question.
It's kind of, it feels like too much, right?
Yes.
If you're, have you worn a VR headset before?
I have not, actually.
I have, and it's trippy. Like it gives me like a little vertigo feeling when I get too into it.
I can get behind VR headsets to try to help you improve in your sport. Like, I think Jen is the one who reported on it. Back when Jaden Daniels was at college, winning his, at LSU, like he would have a VR headset to watch a bunch of the film, and I don't know if they got it the way they got to his, view or whatever once he put the goggles on. But he would watch and try to process at like either 1.5 times or 2 times, like the game speed. So now it's going so much faster as he's preparing, and then when he's in the game, everything seems so much slower.
Down.
Yeah, literally slows down. And he has credited that for some of the growth that he had in his last year at LSU.
And I get that as a quarterback with play calling.
Exactly. So that makes sense to me. So
crowd noise and people yelling stuff at you is just like I don't see how that improves like your hands shaking over a golf ball.
Well, and I'm assuming you took them off before you hit that tee shot on one.
Yeah, I don't know. It just I think we're trying a little too hard here, guys.
It seems like we've truly thought of everything.
But
at this point.
and who knows? Now I wouldn't put this past Luke Donald. Who knows if this is even real, right? Like this is the game within the game, maybe.
I will say this about your guy Rory. The line I saw from the video that he was teeing off on number 1 on Bethpage is aggressive.
Well, I want to see him and Bryson in a singles match just to see what lines they take on that first tee box based on the video I saw.
Yeah. For those who don't know, hole number 1 at Bethpage Black, dogleg right, pretty open fairway. I mean, it's a tighter fairway, but nothing but rough down there, and it's usually a little bit longer because it's Bethpage, but relatively kind of just hit it down to the corner, and then you hit it to the green, dogleg right. And there's some trees kind of protecting, I can't even say it's protecting the dogleg because it's a downhill tee shot. But the turn is pretty far down there, and it's not like a sharp turn.
Yeah.
So you've got to hit a bomb to cut anything off. And the angle in which that ball left his club face, it was really right.
Yeah.
So watching him and Bryson, yes, I think is going to be wildly entertaining on that first hole.
Can't believe it's here. It's like the fellows are arriving at Bethpage. Ryder Cup is on deck.
Was the Pro Court good or bad, real quick, for Team USA?
Yeah, it was great for Bennett. He picked up his 10th win as a kid.
Bennett Scheffler, of course.
He's seen 10 wins by his dad.
It's insane. He's been alive for 18 months?
Yeah.
17 months? It's wild. The only thing I'm concerned about quickly, and you can tell me if I'm overreacting, I'm a little concerned that Ben Griffin's 3-putt to avoid the playoff is a bad thing, and that could break him.
No. I saw Ben Griffin's performance as a whole as an encouraging thing.
I'm just worried because he hits the green in 2. He's got to make a birdie to get into a playoff with Scheffler, and that last putt was
he put it right where he wanted. If you want, like
but the putting was the lag putt, which he hit it to, I think 6 feet on the lag putt, which could be a little bit better, but the putt for birdie was really stinky.
Yeah, it wasn't
didn't really scare the hole.
Yeah, I'd be a little more concerned about JT going 1 over than.
Nah, JT's fine. He's a gamer.
Okay. I hope so.
JT's fine.
Because he's a guy I feel good about for Team USA, but
Bethpage
when you play a tournament to get in the right fields and you shoot over par.
I guess it could have been worse. Could have missed the cut. At least he made the cut.
Oh, gosh.
All right. We'll unveil all of our anxieties about the Ryder Cup because that's here next week.